Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar. We have Lombardy once again. Today, the beautiful city of Bergamo, the walled city, just a stone's throw from everywhere. So this is exciting because it's a destination once again in a known region, but known mainly, let's face it, for Como, Lake Como, and Milano. But the tale continues on describing the many options that tourist destination that this beautiful region has to offer. So first and foremost, of course, this is a webinar promoted and organized by the Italian National Tourism Board of US and Canada. I, of course, want to once again so thankful all the attendees participating today from the US, from Canada, Mexico, and Puerto Rico. So thank you, all of you, for taking your time to learn more about Italy, and specifically today about Lombardy and Bergamo. This is, of course, the second of a few-part series webinar on the destination. So follow us. You will get more invitation as we decided to create even more content for Lombardy. Let's talk about Bergamo, and first and foremost, of course, let's welcome all our guests we have now for the second time already. Now it's a household name, Marta Zandonà. Thank you. She is, let me read it because I don't want to get it wrong, the project manager at Explora. Thank you, Marta, for being with us today. And then also we have the technical manager of Visit Bergamo, Mariangela De Grazia. Hello, Mariangela, hi.
Hello.
And finally, in what it looks like already, just to set the mood and just really not waste any time, we have Barbara Sabat. She's, of course, a tourist guide, excellent tourist guide of the city of Bergamo. She will help us walk through this beautiful city. So I'm going to start talking because it's boring and it's made people want to leave the chat. We don't want to do that. So Marta, we talked about Cremona last time. Today, Bergamo. So bring us and sort of introduce us once again to this beautiful region of Lombardy and tell us why we should come to Bergamo. Marta, your floor is yours.
Yes, thank you. Good morning to everybody. Thanks, Francesco, and thanks to the Italian National Tourist Board for this opportunity. Today we are going to discover Bergamo and its wonderful surrounding. Before that, I want to just introduce Lombardy, that is the region where Bergamo is located, just to let you localize where we are. So Lombardy is located in the middle of the northern part of Italy. It's one of the biggest regions, it's the most populated, and in my opinion, one of the most various in terms of touristic offers. It has three main international airports that grant a good connection with the rest of the world. And one of these international airports is located in Bergamo. The name is Orio Serio, and it's really close to the city center because more or less in 10 minutes you can reach from the airport the city center of the city. So it's really well connected. Milano, that is the capital of the region, is also considered to be one of the biggest European hub for high-speed train. You have also to consider that all cities are very easy to reach one from each other, very close. For example, Bergamo, that as you can see in the map, is exactly in the middle of the region, has a wonderful location as a starting point for organize a travel. For example, in more or less 20 minutes, you can reach Iseo Lake. In 40 minutes, more or less, you can reach Brescia and Como Lake. In 1 hour, you can arrive to Milano. So it's a wonderful starting point. I mean that you can organize an entire travel using Bergamo as your overnights, and then organizing a day trip to discover the other cities of the region. I've just told you that Milan is the capital of the region, but it is also the capital of, we can move with the other slide. It is also the capital of fashion and design. It's well known on international level, and but it's not the only city we have in the region, because Lombardy is the region of nature and Alps. We have 4 great lakes, and a lot of little one. We have over 70 high altitude destinations that are wonderful for outdoor activities, 24 regional park and 1 national park, and more or less 2,500 kilometers of cycling path. But Lombardy is also the region of relax and good food, with 13 thermal spa, 12 roads of wine and flavor. And last but not least, Lombardy is the region of culture. We have 12 City of Art, 10 UNESCO heritage site, and 1 intangible heritage. So now that you are able to localize where is Lombardy, I think that we can start our travel in Bergamo with our 2 special guests. And I'm sure that you will discover an unexpected destination that can offer any kind of experience to you and to your customers. So Barbara will introduce the city of Bergamo, and Mariangela will focus more in surroundings. But before that, I want to introduce the destination with a video.
Perfect, let's watch it. That's really remarkable. I mean, thank you very much. I mean, and once again, as I mentioned in past sort of webinars, I think it's really interesting in showing Lombardy and showing the different attractions. There are a lot of images, but none of them, I'm sure, immediately sort of recognize the super populous, which means really it's a testament to the wealth of destinations and how, you know, how varied and how many, like you said, Marta, the fact that it's so eclectic and has so much to offer. So let's get to it. And so Barbara, it looks like you are, you know, I guess somewhere in the city of Bergamo. It looks like a beautiful day as well. It was raining 3 hours ago,
yes,
so the sun shines on Bergamo and on this presentation, so we even make it better. So Barbara, of course, being there and a beautiful sort of guide that she will sort of walk us through. So we are eager to follow you. Show us Bergamo. Hi, Barbara.
Yes, hello everybody, I'm Barbara. I'm a local, as Francesco was saying, I'm a local guide, a tour leader, and a travel agent as well. So feel free, I know your needs, so feel free to ask me whatever you like about your travel plans. I'm sitting in one of the most outstanding places of Bergamo. We are actually in the upper town, because one of the things you have to know, first of all, that Bergamo is quite well known for being divided into 2 very distinct parts. That is to say, the lower town, it's a small town, actually about 120,000 inhabitants, but we have a lower town that we call Città Bassa and an upper town that we call Città Alta. Of course, the most interesting part, where we have the largest concentration of buildings and things to see and to do, is the upper town, which was the original settlement of the town. And one of the main features of the upper town, and then I'll show you something more than words, is that is totally encircled by walls because Bergamo, the city of Bergamo, for more than 3.5 centuries was under the Venetians' influence. It was a border city, very close to the border with the Duchy of Milan. And that's why the Venetians decided to build a sort of extensive walls that are still visible today, that since 2017 are part of the World Heritage List by UNESCO. So we are very proud of it. And so to reach the upper town where we are now, we are in Piazza Vecchia, to the backdrop of, you can see what was once the city hall of the town. Today it's our municipal library. You can do that by means of very funny means of transportation. That is the funicular. In less than 2.5 minutes, you will make a step back in the past, because the lower town, Città Bassa, is the modern part of the town, the financial center of the town, where all the public offices, schools, the modern city hall, the railway station are located, while the upper town is where all the historic buildings are, all the things to see. Most of the museums are located in the upper town. So, of course, Venice, and you will see it during the video, left a very evident mark on the architectonic style and also the artistic taste of Bergamo. So, notwithstanding the fact that Bergamo is much closer to Milan, that it's only 40 kilometers, we deeply feel the influence of the Venetian art. And you will see what I mean starting this tour of Bergamo. And we made this video for you just to make you experience something real, something true. We want to offer you a video that is not a professional video, just to know. It's a video that we made just
there. It's so good. I saw
it.
It's very professional.
No, it's true. No, it's not professional, but we are going to stroll around Bergamo. And in the meanwhile, while I'm going to tell you what you are going to see when coming to Bergamo, I'm enjoying also, since I hear.
You have to unmute yourself, Barbara. You're muted. Barbara, you're muted.
Okay. I was saying that.
You're muted. You're muted. Barbara, you're muted. Turn on the mic.
Now?
Can you hear?
Now it's working?
Yes, now works.
Okay,
Good.
sorry.
Yes.
Can we start again with the video, please? Do you mind if we start again with the video?
Let's rewind it. Let's rewind it. Let's rewind.
Yeah, yes, just a minute, because so I can tell you what was I doing.
You're there drinking wine while you're here stuck in a apartment.
No, the thing that I was showing my beautiful aperitivo when the video started. So you know, it's another point to choose. So
throw salt in the wound, as they say in America. It's just really make us feel bad. Okay, let's see the video then.
So, forgive me, but oh. Yes, we start with this panoramic view of the upper town, and we are reaching the upper town, taking this funicular running since 1887. So it's actually passing through the Venetian walls. A tunnel was excavated to create the passage for the funicular. So it's a public means of transportation. It's not a tourist attraction. That's important. And we are now just a few steps from the funicular station. We can reach the center of the monumental part, the most interesting architectonic part of the town. We are just now in front of the Cappella Colleoni, the Colleoni Chapel, the funerary monument of the General Bartolomeo Colleoni, the Venetian General Bartolomeo Colleoni, Bergamo-born general. And you see that everything in Bergamo is so close by. A few steps from the Cappella Colleoni, there is the Cathedral of Bergamo, dedicated to Saint Alexander. And just to the left side of the Cappella Colleoni, the Basilica of Santa Maria Maggiore, with this stunning portal. It's a mixture of Romanesque, Gothic, and Baroque style. The nice thing about Bergamo is that we can see every architectonic style all together in such a narrow space like this. And passing under this archway, we will reach again Piazza Vecchia. You are seeing now the interior, the astonishing interior of the Basilica of Santa Maria Maggiore, something you cannot really miss. It was totally renovated in Baroque style in the 1600s, while the exterior, as you can see from this in this part of the video, is still in Romanesque style. So we have also different styles, such a different style, very close to each other. The facade of the exterior facade of the basilica was totally painted in fresco. We have still some remains of this fresco, and we cannot miss, of course, the Campanone Tower, the civic tower. That every night at 10, the huge bell on the top of the tower rings 100 times in memory of the ancient curfew, the time at which the gates of the city were closed. Now we are again in Piazza Vecchia, just in front of the place where I was talking to you, the Palazzo Nuovo, the municipal library. Now let's start our stroll through the main road of the upper town. You can see, of course, lots of shops facing on it. And mind one thing, can you see the architecture of these shops? It's quite original because they have all this round arch still reminding of the medieval workshop which used to stay along this main road. This has always been the main shopping road, also in Roman times. This was the main road going from east to west in Roman times. And all the shops are mostly family run and traditional shops. We don't have in the upper town, the municipality is trying to preserve the medieval atmosphere of the town. So that's why you are not going to come across, the sort of chain stores that you can find in many tourist towns. And also, the things that you have to know when visiting Bergamo, that it's all cobble or stone paved. So it's still retaining its original medieval structure. There are lots of very nice restaurants to dine around, and traditional shops like this are very cozy, very friendly. People here are very friendly because the shops are mostly frequented by locals. They are not so concentrated on tourism. You can see a greengrocer that is quite difficult to find somewhere else. And now we are just in front of the entrance of the Cittadella fortress, one of the two fortresses Bergamo can boast, which was built by the Visconti family, the rulers of Milan, which ruled also over Bergamo for 1 century, more or less. Going back again to the main street, can you see some very historic cafe like this dating back to 1839?
Wow.
Traditional shops again, and we cannot miss, of course, some food shop like this. Heateries and food
This
shops.
is lunchtime here. Lunchtime here.
Yes,
You can't do that.
I know, and it's aperitivo time in Italy. Can you see? It's
Oh
very,
my
very
Lord,
vintage.
it's so good.
Bakeries like this, a lot of bakeries where you can buy homemade bread, also pizza, of course. And also, we'll see in a minute, you see the typical cake of Bergamo that is called polenta eusei. That means polenta with birds. These chocolate pieces on the top should remind birds. And it's a sort of sponge cake. I can tell you something more later. And since it's lunch time for you, but it's almost dinner time for us, I will have my tour going back to Piazza Vecchia, where we are now, and offering you a show cooking, a very original show cooking, because we are going to see how casoncelli are made. Have you ever heard about casoncelli? Casoncelli is a typical dish from Bergamo. It's a sort of ravioli, and that is to say filled pasta, homemade filled pasta. Can you see that our chef Samuel is actually making it with this very funny machine? And all the restaurants in Bergamo offer casoncelli because you cannot leave Bergamo without having casoncelli. And they have originally the original recipe was told concerning the recycle of leftover food, the leftover meals. So it was originally the filling was originally only meat and cheese, and through the years the original recipe has been enriched by using some particular ingredients that give it a very sweet and sour flavor. That is to say, raisins, that is quite unusual for ravioli, and also crunchy amaretto biscuits. So you have to try it when visiting Italy. And how could you have casoncelli? They are usually served with butter and sage sauce. We'll see it in a minute, and with bacon or pancetta, we call it pancetta, and of course Parmigiano cheese on the top. So enjoy your casoncelli and come to Bergamo to enjoy it.
That's not fair. It's not fair. It's not fair.
Yeah.
It's so good. So this is the
Yes,
typical dish.
I can tell that is, yeah.
So this is the typical dish of Bergamo. Can you go back for a second to the polenta e osei, which was very interesting. It looked like it's actually made with polenta, or it's just the name
No,
of it?
no. It's a cake, because I think that you have heard about polenta before. The polenta is this
Yeah,
sort of
cornmeal. We have
hot
it, yeah.
dish, yes, made with cornmeal and water, just that. So we have polenta, the hot version of polenta as well in Bergamo, like in the rest of Lombardy, in the rest of north of Italy. And we have a particular recipe about polenta that is polenta taragna, that is to say polenta with cheeses, mostly local cheeses, because Bergamo is also famous for its dairy production. We have 9 DPO cheeses, certified cheeses, out of 50 in Italy. So in such a small province, we have about 1/5 of the certified cheeses of Italy. Last year, in November, Bergamo was the place of the cheese award, the World Cheese Award, for the first time in Italy, and Bergamo was chosen as the place for it. So we are very proud of our cheeses, and every restaurant in the upper town offer a selection of cheeses that you can enjoy. But the one that you saw on the video was the sweet version of polenta, that is to say polenta eusei. It's a sort of sponge cake with hazelnut cream inside. It's very tasty and it's very caloric as well, but it's worth a try, I can grant you. And of course, don't forget to have also a wine, a glass of our local wine. We have a local wine that is called Valcalepio, both in the white and red version, made with Cabernet and Merlot grapes. So it's not as famous as many wines, Italian wines that people from abroad usually know, but it's getting more and more popular in Italy also because it's a DOC wine, that is to say one of the few certified wines in Italy, and it's produced in the hills around, in the hilly area around Bergamo that Mariangela will present you in a few moments. So it's something really special.
It's a special place. I mean, we said even during the dry run, being Italian, feel ashamed to say, but haven't really had a chance to go to Bergamo. But one thing that's really surprising, even from the short walk that you allow us to have, is just to take in this very, very sort of ancient almost town that has sort of this medieval feel to it. And once again, sort of the highlight of the walk for me was beside the food place for other reasons, but definitely the church, the inside of that church that opens up like that, it's quite extraordinary. And I'm sure most of our guests are not necessarily associating this elegance. Even the building you have behind you, it just speaks volume of the type of architecture you expect to see in this town.
And the nice thing about visits in Bergamo is that it's very easy to do, because from point to point, from the funicular station to the citadel, the fortress that I show you at the end of our tour, it's less than 3/4 of a mile. So you can easily walk through the town, and it's not with no effort at all. It's really worth a visit.
So thank you very much. Now, like you just mentioned, as well as Marta, now it's Mariangela sort of task right now to tell us, yes, about Bergamo. Moreover, everything that surrounds it, because once again, it's we just barely scratched the surface just by talking, because there's so much that we can see and do in Bergamo and around. So, Mariangela, I want to leave the floor to you. Thank you very much for again escorting us. And I know it's going to be difficult to concentrate on this stuff in a few minutes, but I definitely, we all appreciate you trying. Thank you very much, Mariangela, and welcome.
I try. Then, buongiorno everybody. I'd like first to thank you, Explore and Enit, for giving us the opportunity to present Bergamo. You know, my name is Mariangela De Grazia, and I've been in the field of tourism for over 20 years. Yeah, long time. For 12 years, I've been president of the Tourist Consortium of Bergamo City. My partners are hotels, guides, and travel suppliers. But here today, I represent Visit Bergamo. Visit Bergamo is the official tourism board of the whole Bergamo area, territory. So, strolling along the medieval cobbled streets of the upper town is not the only thing you can do in Bergamo. So I thought I'd present my town and the province with some pictures. I've spoken for 2 minutes, and it's going.
Don't worry, we are here for you.
It's not more. Okay. So, Bergamo, I'm going to present Bergamo in 5 points. Bergamo is art. Bergamo is music. Bergamo is green. Bergamo is food and wine, and Bergamo is wellness. Let me show you my pictures. Just a moment. Okay. Okay. Then, of all the reasons to visit Bergamo, art is definitely at the top of the list. You can see in the top left-hand corner one of the top 10 museums in Italy, the Accademia Carrara Art Gallery, with more than 2,000 pictures. The collection is spanning from the 15th to the 19th century, including some truly impressive masterpieces by Andrea Mantegna, Sandro Botticelli, Giovanni Bellini, Raffaello, and Tiziano. And after a visit to the gallery, why not have an elegant dinner in the museum itself, which is the picture in the bottom right-hand corner. So it's a catering services, not a restaurant. But we can organize also, celebrate weddings, celebrate events. So exclusive opening in the museum. Here in the top left-hand corner, you can see a magnificent staircase. This is the entrance of Palazzo Moroni, one of the historical palaces you can visit in Bergamo. The Moroni family has always been a patron of the arts and has filled the palazzo with artwork. And you can see the palace is surrounded by a wonderful garden, the ideal place for maybe a picnic after a visit. In the middle of the slide is the catering service that can be organized in the main hall. I did it. I'm in the middle.
I can see you.
Okay. Bergamo is Gaetano Donizetti, one of the world's top 5 composers. In the top left-hand corner, the Donizetti Theatre in downtown, not in the upper town. In the upper town, we have a smaller theatre, the Teatro Sociale. And Donizetti Theatre is one of the largest in Italy. Here, the famous soprano Maria Callas dedicated Lucia di Lammermoor to the great composer in 1954. Next to it, a picture of the interior. Every year in Bergamo, there are two important musical opera appointments. The International Donizetti Opera Festival, the Donizetti Night. The former is in November every year, and the latter is in September with concerts, shows, and events in the town of Bergamo. Enjoy Donizetti music in his hometown is an experience no other place can offer. In the bottom right-hand corner is the Donizetti cake, which you can buy and take back to your country. It's a delicious cake, similar to margherita, but enriched with lots of candied fruit and the aroma of maraschino. You know, it's a liquor.
Yeah, maraschino.
Yeah, legend wants it that it was commissioned by Rossini to give to Donizetti because he was lovesick.
There you go.
Gioacchino Rossini and Donizetti were friends and colleagues, and often they have a dinner together. And that evening, it would needed a cake, okay,
Gotcha,
just
yeah.
to enjoy the evening.
Fantastic.
Bergamo is food and wine, and excuse me, food and wine. I was I was thinking.
Don't worry.
Yeah. But Barbara has illustrated very well this. So I can say that you can't leave Bergamo without having tasted the food, the wine, and above all the local cheeses. Bergamo
I
has
would
a
say
nice.
the view. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but the view, it's incredible. The top right corner of it's the spectacle. Where is that?
Is the hill of San Vigilio.
Wow.
Is at the top of the upper town. You can reach it by the second funicular. And it's splendid overall when there is sunshine. Other things? Okay. Other questions?
No, not for this one. Maybe later, but I was just very interested in. It was a beautiful view.
Okay. Bergamo is green.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Bergamo is a small town surrounded by woods, countryside, and mountains. Here you can see the upper town, the walls of Bergamo, which just said Barbara are a UNESCO World Heritage. Yeah. And in the background, mountains and valleys. In the picture, there isn't the lower town. That is in the bottom right hand, but not in the picture.
Yeah. How many people live in Bergamo? How many inhabitants does Bergamo have?
At about 90,000 in the city of Bergamo.
But in the upper part of you, how many do you say live actually in the center? Because it looks like a pretty big center, though.
In the big center, 90,000. Okay,
oh, wow.
in the big center, but in the province, over than 1 million, 1 million
okay.
habitants. Okay.
I was curious about sort of the top part, the Bergamo Alta. How many people live there?
Bergamo, not a lot of people now. There are a lot of hotels, restaurants, and I don't know exactly, but maybe 10,000, not more.
10,000. So like a smaller.
Yeah.
No, just try to get a sense of how big it is. Okay, please. Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. Where were you now? Astino Valley.
And now this is enchanting valley, Astino Valley. Is few steps from Upper Town. It's a wonderful valley, and interesting is the ex-monastery. At the moment, is the ex-monastery back to 11th century. 11th century. In only 20 minutes walk, you can go from the Upper Town on foot or on a bike to visit it. Here you can eat. You can eat in open air. You can visit the monastery. It often hosts musical events and exhibition. And in the bottom right-hand corner is an example of the catering service we can offer in the beautiful in this beautiful hall of the convent.
Wow. Beautiful.
Bergamo is ideal for outdoor activities in its province. In the Bergamo valleys, you can go, you can see canoeing in rivers, in Lake Iseo, sailing, in the winter skiing, and summer cycling. Iseo Lake was, until 4 years ago, just one of the least known lakes in Italy, but you know, it achieved international fame when it was chosen by Christo, the recently disappeared Anglo-Bulgarian artist. It constructs the floating piers which connected the land to the island. Montisola. Montisola, this island, is the biggest lake island in Europe.
Sorry, what? It's what?
Is the biggest lake island in Europe.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, no, that was fantastic. In fact, I was saying, sorry, Manoj, if I interrupt you, I was saying before when we were doing the dry run that I wasn't able to get there, but friends of mine actually did go. That is unique and extraordinary experience because Lake Iseo, first and foremost, it's a beautiful lake, but it really suits very well what Cristo was doing because it really does have the feeling by walking over, you can actually walk through this island and literally have this unique experience of walking on a lake and see everything around you by simply standing on it, which was really, I think, remarkable. And it's a beautiful homage to this really, really incredible lake that is close to Bergamo.
Yeah, do you know river boats?
No.
The Motorama River. Oh,
okay.
Most famous. Yeah, they are constructed. They are built here. Yeah, in Lake Iseo.
Iseo. Wow.
Okay.
That's good.
Okay. Bergamo is ideal for playing golf. We have free golf courses. The first golf club, Bergamo L'Albenza, 27 holes course, 3 different courses. Is in a very enchanting environment, landscape. Is a very good experience. Another one, Golf Club La Rosera, very near to Lake Iseo. So you can spend one day here and then go for dinner to the lake. Golf Club ai Colli. It is at the foot of the Bergamo Hill, 10 minutes from the upper town, 5 minutes from Astino Valley. Oh, this is very interesting.
Like I asked you during the dry run, these, of course, all these courses are open to people that don't belong to the club. So if I'm visiting there, I can bring my set of golf club to play in the courses.
The golf courses are open to everybody, not only for club. Yes, there is a club, but you can play. We can organize everything.
Very good.
At the end, at last, but not least, Bergamo is wellness. At a few steps from the city of Bergamo, San Pellegrino, famous for its mineral water, is also an important spa with thermal water, panoramic pools, as you can see in the picture, tonic waterfalls, and all that. But San Pellegrino is also an important spa. Is also a very good village to visit because between the 19th and the 20th century absorbed the characteristic of the Belle Époque. You can see the picture in the bottom left-hand corner.
Wow.
Magnificent staircase. This is the entrance of the San Pellegrino Spa.
Almost a stupid question, but I need to ask it. You know, beside, of course, all the water treatment that I'm sure that you were able to enjoy because of the spa, you know, settings. The other things I have to ask you: does this sort of place also offers what usually is expected when you walk in a spa here in the United States in terms of massage and sort of that kind of aspect?
Yes, of course. Yes, I was saying and all that, but yes, massage, everything, beauty, beauty services, all the beauty services. Okay. Then at the end, Bergamo, we finish with Bergamo is the ideal departing point for great day trips or trips all around Lombardy, but also North Italy, because in 2 hours and a half you can reach Venice or Turin or Genova. So come to Bergamo. You can go around without the motorway, or take a flight to go in Europe. Bergamo is well connected.
Sure.
I finished. For any other information, please contact me. Okay.
Of course. Thank you, Mariangela. This was, again, I appreciate your effort. There's so much that sort of we need to process. I'm sure that these are important as well. But I think there's a couple of key points that I would like to stress once again, sort of try to sort of highlight some of the things you said. I think one thing that it's undeniable is how strategic is to actually choose Bergamo maybe as one place where you can base yourself, because as you just said, it's so well connected to the rest of the regions and really allow you to have that ability to not really compromise with anything, to still enjoy the destination, but with I think with the advantage that not to be understated of going back to a beautiful, but if you wish, not overrun by tourist spot where you can really sort of relax and really let loose without feeling that you are, always into a crowd, or you always have to sort of fight for those inches, precious inches, just because there's so many people around, which is really remarkable. The other thing is, I have a feeling that in the sort of in warmer season, also Bergamo offers that kind of sort of climate relief that maybe some art cities are a little bit more challenging, giving you, just because some of them are in the valley and those sort of the heat sometimes can get you. And on top of everything, with the things that we saw, the beautiful theater, which is I think really to me unexpected. I didn't expect to see it, and it's so elegant, so beautiful, celebrating, of course, their composer, on top of all the other little things that we saw, and overall, I mean, the elegance of a really beautiful, charming city. So before I move forward, and we're going to read a few questions, as I said, from the attendees. We want to make sure that attendees are still with us and following what we are saying. So we're going to launch a quick poll just to test their knowledge. I admit I would have problem answering, but after this this beautiful presentation, I think I might be able to get it right. So let's see the question. Again, this is once again, not do or die. It's more to sort of to keep up the attention and sort of to see if you are engaged with the presentation. So, which local dish is a stuffed pasta made with butter, sage, and pancetta? So presented with butter, sage, and pancetta. So, is it polenta taragna, which was also mentioned, the casoncelli, scarpinotte di parre, and polenta and osei? So, which one of these is the real thing? So, I see already 33% have voted. Most of you are getting it right, so you were following what we were saying. I'm gonna keep it open for a few more seconds. Again, amazing and very, very unfair to discuss this stuff. I actually have to make a note that the next webinar cannot mention food because it just makes it difficult to go through it. In all seriousness, it's really incredible. So let me see, and I give 5 more seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1, boom. I'm closing now the poll and see what's the results. There we go. So,
wow.
62% that's casoncelli, 16 polenta, 7, and the other polenta with osei, 13%. Which one is the correct answer?
Casoncelli.
Is casoncelli, esatto. It's casoncelli. We saw it at the end of the beautiful walk that we had before. So once again, it's good that at least more than half of you were somehow listening, and now I'm going to hide the results. So let's get to some of the questions from our attendees. There's a lot of them. Once again, I'll try to get through most of them, but we can do everything. So let me pull them out and see what we have here. All right. Here we go. Yeah, the very simple question. I think we answered because we just showed it. Somebody actually is asking, how do you spell the name of Casoncelli? But I think they just saw it. So yeah, if you were able to pick it, that's how you spell it. So that's the right spelling. So let me see. Let's have here another one about the spelling. Somebody just didn't get completely the point, and this is for Mariangela. When you were mentioning the different things that Bergamo has to offer, she remembered art, she remembered music, food and wine, and wellness, and one she was missing that she cannot remember. Which one was the point when you were listing all the points of the
yes, the art, music, food and wine, green, and wellness.
Yeah, let's good, bravo. Yes, because I want actually to ask you about that. One thing was incredible when you were showing, beside the beautiful overview on top of the hill and just seeing how much green is around the city. The things that was remarkable, you also showing the beautiful sort of palace, and the backyard of the palace in the center of the city had those sprawling green hill, which I think is remarkable about the city. And I was telling you, it's not usual to have in the center of the city, literally the countryside, almost welcome within the center, which I think really adds something special. And I was telling them that it's a similar feeling. I'm from Tuscany, from Florence, which is one of a few of this city that actually welcomes the countryside in the middle of the center, which I think really is remarkable. Let me see what's yes, people were asking specifically when you were showing the beautiful convent that also has a exhibition, and you said it's very close. So they wanted to have a little bit more of an idea. they understood right that you said we can actually walk from the center of the city. So let's say where Barbara sits right now, you can actually walk to that convent in the middle of the country. How long does it take by walking, let's say, from where Barbara is to the convent or to the
Barbara, I answer. Okay. Yes, you can walk from Barbara explained that we have 2 funicular in more than 1 kilometer. Is exactly, Barbara? Okay. So
you have to walk to the funivia, to the funicular, and then when they stop, you just walk to the monastery.
From the downtown to upper town, we have 1 funicular. Then you can walk and go to another funicular to go to top hill San Vigilio, where I show the picture with a restaurant. Okay, to sunset. Then, instead of take the funicular, there is a cobble street in the left, and you can walk and you arrive in Astino, 20 minutes from the upper town.
Wow, it's really, I think it's one of those things that you don't necessarily expect to be able to be sort of able to unplug from the
beyond
beyond
the how to say this funicular, there is a lot of hills with unbelievable buildings, villas, exclusive.
In fact, I saw a vineyard in that pictures right around. There's an actual vineyard, literally almost in the center of the city. What is that about?
In the Astino Valley, Astino Valley too, there is a vineyard. Yeah, we can arrange visit and tasting and so on, because they were called the Gold Valley because of the sun. So the wine can, the winery can stay and produce wine.
The last questions, and then I'll let you go. It's a very simple one. It was related to the Lago di Iseo. People were curious about it, and because of course Lake District is always a hot item, especially when it comes to Lombardy, north of Italy. We're not going to even touch Lago Maggiore, Como, and Garda, which already, of course, are very established. But if you can spend a couple of words, how far is, for example, and how reachable is from Bergamo or from Milano to get to Lago di Iseo, or what kind of scene in terms of accommodation? Spending overnight there, how feasible it is, and all of that.
Okay, Bergamo is connected to Milan, Milano, Bergamo, and Brescia from the motorway, the A4 motorway. So from Milan, Lake Iseo is 1 hour and 50 minutes. From Bergamo is only half an hour or less, 20 minutes, half an hour, depends on the traffic.
Can you get there by train, or there has to be by car?
One shore is Bergamo and the other is Brescia.
Gotcha. No, but the question I have for you, how do you actually get to the lake? Is there a train that goes there, or you have to go with a car or with a private transportation?
Oh, you can take a train, you can reach it by train or by car. Okay. Yes, there are public means to reach the ice.
Is it possible to stay around the lake? Do they have hotels or villas or
yes,
or no?
yes, there are hotels. You can you can walk. You can have everything. You like
smaller scale, let's say the lake
villages are very nice. Yes, you can take a boat and go to the island. I said before, Montisola. This is the biggest island, lake island in Europe. So you can stay in the island, have a lunch and walk, because the island is no car, pedestrian island.
No car allowed. It's only
there.
And Francesco, you can also organize a boat trip for customers.
Yeah.
And Iseo Lake is also a good starting point to visit Franciacorta, that is in Brescia province,
Okay.
but it's another wonderful land of vineyard. Franciacorta is a white wine, sparkling wine.
So much.
Yeah. Yeah.
Guys, I want to thank you so much because you're teaching me a lot. Of course, not that it matters, but moreover, of course, you bring in to this to the attendees today. I think a really interesting and again the idea of giving them a spark, and then eventually we will, of course, as you know, forward your contact to them, and they can always reach out and get more information. But I think you did a great service to your beautiful town and the area, and I'm very, very excited, and thank you very much for joining us. So once again, Marta, Barbara, Mariangela, thank you very much for here today. This concludes our webinar. Before I let you go, to all the attendees, you will be receiving a survey after the presentations. You can give us a sense about what you saw today, and if you need more information, if you want to change anything, we are here to serve you better. And of course, before I let you go, this is a corporate effort. There's a lot of people doing this. It's not just me blabbering. Of course, I want to thank our colleagues from our Toronto office, Salvatore and Sabrina, from our Los Angeles office, Fabrizio and Emanuele, and of course, from the New York office, Caterina, Cosmo, and Matte. Thank you very much. I'll see you the next one. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Ciao.
Ciao.